Good evening, brothers and sisters. My name is Dorian Maxwell. I'm a member of Transport Workers Local 250A. I was recently fired on trumped-up charges. Defending a co-worker at the Sunshine Task Force in a matter that the SFM trying to withhold documents from him that could have exonerated him, them firing him. Running a red light, which when we documented evidence, it showed that the operator made a complete stop and did not go through the red light. They were trying to fire this man. I did get permission from the supervisor in order to go over and speak out on behalf, but when it came to the arbitration, the supervisor changed his story, talking about I never gave me permission. He did that in order for him to save his 160-hour-a-year job. He was a retired muni supervisor. 960 hours per year. Retired, he can only work 960 hours. My thing is, they retaliating against me because I have seen to CAL shown various violations, no reference drivers, defective equipment, which I got a sustained injury from a defective tire blowing up on me, and now I have a 23% disability because of that. My own union me out because I didn't go with the program that they had to concessions. I fought the concessions. I fought real hard for the concessions because these concessions that they were talking about would have put class families in of the rank and file in turmoil. They would have lost their homes, their cars, then committing suicide because the union was consistently selling them out. My thing is, attack on one of us is attack on all of us. I didn't even have the backing of my own rank and file at the arbitration hearing. A few drivers stood out because they felt that they were going to get retaliated against for speaking for me. That's how we have that. That's part of the problem with the labor movement because we have a lot of co-workers amongst ourselves that spies or what you call a slave mentality. That's why the labor movement sometimes hit a stalling block because of we get infiltrated by moles. They go back and tell management plans. They go back and tell the union officials the plans. And, went up against the union to try to change the bylaws of the so we can get rid of these union that's on this concessionary bargaining tip and on the extortion tip from the membership. And I've been exposing a lot of things that's happening to our local. How the president went back and gave up $1 million of our trust fund, signed away to breaks, signed away we're supposed to get 20 minutes to bus. He signed away on that. We need to check the bus and make sure it's safe before we're out there. There's a lot of things our local president over the years been giving up and secretly giving up. So since I've been terminated, they're trying to kick me out of the union. They refuse to take my dues. I still have appeals going, and on one of my appeals with the Civil Service Commission, they didn't even hear my case. The civil service, the day that they had my civil service hearing, the MTA said, we're not going to process this case. We handled it internally, and we reversed it that we remove all the restrictions from me, from the employee. So now I can get a job anywhere in the city, county, San Francisco with the city, county. I fought hard, and they knew what type of evidence that I was going to bring forward to the Civil Service Commission and expose their hands on how they manipulated these charges, convinced the co-workers to speak out against me for them in their favor, and to protect this supervisor that they threatened to fire him because of he went on with the conspiracy to get rid of me because I'm a threat to them, and they felt that way, that I was exposing a lot of things that they were doing, how they was misappropriating drivers' funds. They were paying these mechanics overtime to fix the buses, and the buses are not getting fixed. There's a lot of things that I had exposed with management, against management. They found out to be creditable. So all this happened because they refused to um, fix the buses. If they had done what they had and make sure that I had safe, and I myself along with operators sustained injuries. Another brother that's here in the, he sustained an injury due to lack of maintenance community vehicles and things. But the main thing is the union had given up so many workers' rights, work rules, and all this stuff, and they had got fringe from management. They got padded perks on their vacation. They got padded perks on their retirement, and half of those members that got these concessions from these people, they left this local in turmoil. They left this. They depleted the funds in the trust fund, left the operators and retired operators that was eligible for the cost and increase fund. They left them having to pay taxes on this money. They were supposed to take the taxes out. They just gave them the whole thing. Now how they're gonna pay taxes on this money because most of them are retired. They've been on the job for 30 years and they expected this money, and it's a lot of corruption going on with the officials. And I exposed a lot of it, and I blew the whistle on it. I turned them over to the Office of Labor Standards, and it was so bad that they're being invaded right now, even as we speak, because the books doesn't match the report that they've submitted to the federal government about their taxes return, and they're being audited right now. So what happened was since I've been terminated, still having my appeals open, and I still need them to exempt me in some of the things other than what my attorney that I have is going to rate me on. I have an outstanding grievance about the untimeliness of the arbitrator's decision terminating me. And the union is supposed to take this up. Here it is, 5 months since I've been terminated, and I get notifications of the hearing, of the day of the hearing, after the hearing is supposed to be conducted. I didn't get no phone call from no union official, no nothing. No union, hey, you got a hearing to come to. This is twice that they did. Then when I had an open discussion meeting with the staff rep, the vice president of he's talking about, oh, we're going to try to get in a hearing sometime this month. Here it is, the end of March, and I haven't had a hearing. So there's a lot of corruption and things that's going on, and pretty much you out there understand what's going on out there. Now we have another battle to fight. We have another battle to fight with FMTA. They have a group called the Effective Project, and they have another group we see called the Transit Sustainability Project, and they're coming full-fledged. They're going to launch a full attack against the workers and all transit systems. They have like a 180-page plan on what they're going to do with how they cut lines. They're going to reduce service hours. They're going to, for Muni, they want to stop most of the lines that's Community around 7 o'clock. So our thing is the board of supervisors. They're talking about, well, most of the monies that's being used to fund Muni is being used to pay the ops. That's a flat out lie. Most of the money is to managers in upper positions, managers, supervisors, mechanic supervisors. That they getting paid $200,000 a year to fix these buses, and they're not fixing them. They're not ordering parts. The public is in danger while riding vehicles, and the public needs to know this. And so I went to SF Weekly and I met a reporter and sitting down, putting a story together so we can alert the public on what's going on, what's the corruption in the system here in San Francisco. If if it's going here in San Francisco, just imagine how many other transit agencies affected by corruption, lack of maintenance, employee management, breaking up the overtime but nothing done, and all this stuff. But in our union, just turning they're turning their back to this. They have no defense. They had no defense committee for exposing all this. Not only myself, a few other operators that's exposed this also. They're no longer. One of the guys, he's getting ready to come back. Hopefully, he'll be back in the next few weeks. So I'll try to use his attorney to help me get my job back. Also, I'm going after the union. Also, and I'm going after the union because it means that was in writing that submitted to them far as getting me representation outside of these individuals that's on the take from management. And that request was denied. And I asked for international intervention. That was denied. So basically, they pushed me through the ranks and violated my contractual rights, everything, grievance process, arbitration rights, all that been violated with me. But here's the thing. We need help with public general ideals on how to stop these particular projects that's going on to try to attack the main line of workers, the bus drivers and supervisors. What happened is the public needs to be aware that the problem with the funding with Muni is not within the drivers. It's not within the workers. It's not within the labor. It's within management, mismanagement, the federal funds that they get, and failure to collect the transit impact development fee that was imposed on the downtown businesses in the 1980s. Now, here's what they're trying to do. They want to pass the buck to the homeowners. They want to take the pressure off of downtown big business and put the pressure on the homeowners in San Francisco to pay additional fees and property taxes for the fund Muni. That's not going to happen because we're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to expose them for the mismanagement of funds as much as possible because I have pictures of defective equipment that I'm submitting to the newspaper report. Hopefully we can crack this thing wide open. And once we get this thing cracked open, wide open, the people is going to find out the truth about how the transit system that they trust in city and county of San Francisco is being ran irresponsibly, recklessly. And then the board of supervisors downtown, they're no help. Ed Lee, he's no help. I met with a couple of supervisors and with Ed Lee about this health and safety issues within the transit system, why all these accidents are happening and all this. He places a call to Nathaniel Ford, oh, I want this guy out of here. I want this guy out of this system. He knows too much. He's exposing a lot of things. And I exposed that Gavin Newsom, when he was mayor, Willie Brown, he was mayor, and they stole money out of Muni to fund private parties, uh, fund staffers, um, paying lobbyists, which is against federal law. You can't pay lobbyists out of operating costs to allocate funds for a central subway, a 1.5 mile per hour system that is not needed here in San Francisco at this time. The service, the subway is only going nowhere, and they're kicking people out of their homes just for this subway, just to entertain a 1.5 mile. BART told them not to build it because they got to go under BART, and everything is going to slow down. But my thing is, they retaliated against me, and it's just sad that my coworkers, along with my union officials, did not help me one bit. So, in closing, um, we want to try to get as much. I want to try to get as much public support and as much help from the outside as possible to bring these people down. And it's nothing. It's not personal. It's about health and safety for the riders and the workers, because these conditions are unhumane, and something needs to happen about this. I thank you for your time, and